Most of us have heard our teachers tell us to show, not tell, at some point, or seen those red words scribbled across our narratives, but what exactly does that mean? When we tell our audience something, we are simply stating it. We're providing only enough details for them to imagine the scene or the characters in their mind. We might report that the character is cold, tired, or mad, and that is only telling. Showing actually paints a vivid picture in the reader's mind. Instead of simply telling us that Ray is tall, the author would leave clues that would allow us to form the mental images of his height. The author would allow us to feel the character's rage. And we can almost experience this same bitter cold. The reader is actually part of this same experience as the character. Showing happens when we allow the reader to experience things for themselves through the perspective of the character, as if they were in virtual reality. The reader can hear it, they can smell it, they can taste it, and they can touch it. It's an immersive experience. We can emotionally move with the character. When we show instead of tell, we get the sense of amazement of the size of the chasm. We feel Jessica's fear as she crosses this shaky bridge, and we move with her as her fear moves to exhilaration and eventually pride. But why would we show rather than tell? If we only tell, we assume that the reader is not smart enough to understand unless we lay out our stories like teachers lay out lesson plans. Fiction isn't supposed to be like a lesson in school. The primary goal of fiction is to entertain. Think of it like this. If you are a mega sports fan, would you rather hear the sports highlights on the news or actually go and see and experience that once-in-a-lifetime moment in person? If a narrator tells you the character is sad, how much can you really feel? But if you see my sadness, if you watch my struggle with it, if you learn the difficult details, then suddenly my heartache becomes your heartache. Video games have capitalized on our need for interaction. They put in the avatars, customized to look just like us in their games. This allows us to feel like what it's like to participate in our stories and not put in the controllers. Our writing will compel our readers to keep on reading, keeping our audiences actively involved. So are you ready to take it to the page? Here are just a few tips to level up your draft. What emotions are in your draft? What are the nuances or distinctions? How can you provide the reader with the shades of meaning of that particular emotion? Where can you replace dull verbs for strong verbs? Search for those dialogue tags like said, asked, and yelled. Can those be conveyed through stronger verbs? Providing evidence of the emotion instead of simply reporting the facts will leave the readers more satisfied. Instead of saying that she was sad, what evidence can you provide? What details would lead the reader to the correct direction of your story? What verbs would make the writing stronger? So it's time to take to that draft and put in some of those showing details. Good luck.